It's a new moon, but it feels like a full moon. And if you want to know why, hang in there. I want you to go and put down exactly in the comments how you're feeling, what's going on for you in your world. We're going to be explaining why this new moon is shifting so much in us. And also, for those of you guys, I found out yesterday talking to Missy is that this moon and is on Hygeia. So it's affecting water in our body. Water in our body, our kidneys, our bladder, our fascial systems are all going to be affected today. And we are getting ready with this new moon manifestation, setting the direction for a complete shift, complete narrative on the weekend, which is, I didn't expect that happening. Whoa, I didn't see that coming. All coming on the weekend. So put down in the comments how you're feeling. I feel calm but chaotic. I'm a coconut palm climber. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. I'm a coconut palm climber. Seems very random. I'm a human being. Thank you. Used to be a human doing. I've refined myself. Good. Keep care. Grand Rising. Hi, Maura. Hey, Maura. Are you Schultz Maura now? Is that different? Grand Rising, H2 water experts, how you doing? How to deal with high cholesterol? No, it's not genetic based, it's poison based. Get the chemicals out of your diet, get your body hydrated, do the 28-day reset. Most people within 1 to 3 months don't have high cholesterol anymore. Is water enough to hydrate, lubricate your fascia? No, absolutely. If you drink a lot of water, you're gonna dehydrate your fascia, dehydrate your body, your organs, your meridians, and your pathways. If you want to hydrate your body, you got to have the minerals in it. Go download our supplement guide. In our supplement guide, we explain the supplements, our supplements, and also the ones that we recommend you take. We show you how to get them in your local market if you need to. Hey, Michelle. Hip pain and muscle. Okay, awesome. What's the best herbal to fight COVID? What is COVID, by the way? You know what? If you want to fight COVID, get some minerals, do the fascial maneuvers, get in a bath, take diatomaceous earth, take boron, take Irish sea moss. In Canada, a higher degree of the Power Quirk 30 has been approved as a COVID treatment. And it's basically a 65 version. So it's the strongest way to reduce the symptoms because the symptoms are all inflammatory and it releases the inflammation inside the connective tissue, which is highly dominant in your lungs. So when you let the inflammation go down there, the fluid starts to drop, if that's what you actually have.
Gary, do you find that the COVID symptoms are showing up differently than they did in the first part of when it first came about?
What is COVID? It's a flu. And what is happening is you're having pulmonary edema. Why are you having that? Well, there's a lot of reasons. Number one is you're dehydrated. You don't have the right minerals. Number two is barium, strontium, aluminum. Strontium is lodged in your lungs and it gets hyperactive, creating inflammatory responses and mucus as soon as you breathe. So yeah, basically anytime you get your body run down, you're gonna feel like that. So get that stuff out, minerals. Hey, why did one of my clients say they lost balance when he did the stress reset YouTube video? What does that mean for him? Nick, I mean, if he lost balance temporarily, it's very easy because like when you're doing a anti-gravity and you get up, all of the fascial system has to rebalance the water and pressure in all three zones automatically. And for 1 to 3 minutes, you can be completely like that. If he has continually lost balance, and that's anything. I mean, if you get up off a couch and you've been sitting there too long, often they'll lose balance. So you got to give a bit more information. Is he like this before? If he sits down too long, gets up, does he get lightheaded? So getting lightheaded is a very, very common thing that happens when you're doing fascial maneuvers because you're moving all the pressure around the body. Okay, let's check out Pennsylvania. I don't think that they make pencils there anymore. Hey, Christian.
Hey Gary, how's it going?
Holy smoke. You look completely different.
What do you notice?
Oh, Lisa, come here. Do you see him? Yeah, Lisa sees you. Completely different. Well, first of all, your eyes are extremely blue now and light.
Yep.
Your skin is much, much, much lighter.
Yes.
Your forehead is smoother. Your cheeks are broader. Your face is a little bit wider right now. So before it was more compressed, and your energy has completely changed. Because I haven't. I mean, I saw you on a Zoom call, but that was light was bad. There was lots of other stuff going on, so I didn't really see you. But man, you look like you lost 10 years.
His energy is so different.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm showing up and we're doing the maneuvers regularly every day over here, getting back on it in ways that I hadn't in a long time. The biggest thing, actually, I did like a somatic exercise yesterday and my voice dropped. Do you notice how low my voice is right now?
I noticed how low your voice is.
I'm not even
How, but
trying.
but
It's
how low
crazy.
can you go?
Yeah, it surprised me even. I'm like when you can notice the shift and change in the octaves, like what's going on here?
Yeah, so my voice, I mean, even if I do a stress reset or something like that, it drops right away. But I went from, my whole life. I mean, here's the story. I wanted to sing, but I was that guy when you went to a karaoke bar that everybody said you got to sit down, dude. And I mean, no shit, that was me. And as a matter of fact, I went for Jordan's mother when we were kids, like 18 years old. I went and recorded, like back then before karaoke was big, it was commercial karaoke. They would record you to a song professionally and make a tape for you. You pay a bunch of money for it. And I gave it to her and I listened to the tape and I paid so much money for it. I listened to the tape and said, this is absolute crap. I said, I don't even know who's singing on there. So anyways, I paid so much money, I gave it to her. She just laughed. But that was my whole life. And now I can literally sing almost every artist in tone, in pitch, in frequency. And I haven't, I'm not like not trained as a singer, but I can actually sing and carry a note, carry a tone and stuff like that, which is something I always wanted to do my whole life. And that's from the lengthening of my neck through fashion, because I used to be old pictures, I was like this. And so lengthening of my neck, opening up and the hydration and opening up of my vocal cords and taking the restriction off. And so it's really easy, especially if somebody is hitting a note, like if somebody's singing, I can do it instantaneously.
You know what's really cool, Gary, is so for those of you who don't know, I'm formally trained as an acupuncturist. And one of the really cool things that I noticed early on in my education, and I even asked professors at my school, it's like I notice after I have a really good acupuncture treatment that I can sing and match pitch to songs that I normally wouldn't be able to match pitch to. And it's literally your heart being more online, more attuned to what it is that's going on in your life. But ultimately, just that reduction in stress in the body allows you to match that pitch because you are literally at a higher vibration and frequency.
Well, so I mean, we're bioharmonic and we're bioacoustic. So basically, we're resonant frequency. So if you have two pianos in a room, you hit a C, they both actually technically play C.
Right.
And you can do that with tuning forks, and you know all this, but for other people who don't. So when someone comes in a room and they're angry, and then all of a sudden I leave them a little bit angry or frustrated or snappy, that's because I've matched pitch or frequency with them.
Right.
And so as we clear out our fascia and reduce the restriction and we increase the hydration in our body, then we become resonant. Now, out of curiosity, has that changed any of this?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for sure. My skin is definitely like more fluid. Ironically, I've been detoxing a little bit there. So
Yeah,
like,
well, I mean, that's okay to come and go, but I would imagine because I see it all changing in your face.
yeah, no, for sure. I'm definitely in the middle of a detox right now. So I have some like old eczema patches that have come up,
Yeah,
but no, it's definitely like by and large way better than it has been in a really long time.
I wouldn't. You know what? Honestly, I wouldn't even recognize you. That's how much you've changed. Like I literally can't because it's basically the eyes. It's the lightness around the eyes and the face.
Yeah.
Have you done it
Yeah.
before and after photos?
Not for a while. I haven't done
Can
them for
you
a
do
while.
that, man? You gotta do that and post those suckers, man. I mean, seriously.
Well,
Sure.
we're gonna get back up on it. Don't you worry. We're like now rocking and rolling over here. One of the things I want to mention, though, even like what you talked about of like the bioharmonics, and this is for anyone who is either new to HG or if you've been down to Cancun or to one of their experiences before, and then really working with any practitioner that is solid in what they do, is you notice when you're in the presence of HG, just even by being around them, that your pain starts to decrease and you don't even have to do maneuvers, or your thoughts start to change in a way that they hadn't previously. And this is one of the things that I think is coolest about what you guys have done and what we're doing over here, is that literally when you're just in the presence of someone who shows up to their life and does this on a regular basis, just by being in the room with them, you notice the shift and change.
Yeah. By the way,
Way different.
there you go. Real time.
That's
Real
crazy.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a look at that, you guys. This is last year in May. So it was about 9 months ago or 10 months ago, something like that. Tell me, yeah, tell me that's not changed. Look at the person. Look at the difference in the person talking to you. Your face has become more symmetrical.
Yeah.
Your jaw is wider. Your smiling eyes. So your eyes were sunken in here. Now your
Mm.
eyes are actually, as your face came wider, your eyes are presenting out.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like a brand new person these days for sure.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, it's proof. Like what we keep saying all the time is that did a podcast yesterday with a really famous chef out of Australia, and
Is that Pete?
yeah, Pete, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. When you mentioned him on the live the other day, because you said that same language, I was like, I bet
yeah,
it's Pete.
yeah, it is, it is. So we're doing it. We're going to be running all his programs. He's doing all custom menus for and meal plans and stuff like that for Human Garage. We're going to be partnering with him in a big way. We're going to be bringing some things to the market, and we're going to be doing some cooking programs together and stuff like that. So he's we were talking about yesterday. We were talking about, what was I going to talk about?
We just mentioned like changing in a big way, like how much my energy has shifted. And then we went into you talking about Pete.
Ah, I'll remember. I'll remember in a bit. It was so I did a podcast with him. I actually posted the one side of it. We streamed my side of it. It's on the wall. You guys can hear it. He actually cried during the podcast.
Mm.
So it was super powerful. Because he asked some really deep questions. But one of the things that I've noticed oh man, it came up again. I wanted to say something. I can't remember what it is. Okay, so first of all, for those of you guys who don't know Christian, it's Dr. Christian Pedretti. Do you still identify as a doctor, or?
You know, the title doesn't feel. I'll wear it, but it's not really me. Because at the end of the day, a lot like you, it's like a person meeting a person, and I do the clinical thing, and it's nice. But at the end of the day, yeah, I've found, especially through your work, that it's so much bigger than a treatment, and it's about really trying to help teach people. And I feel more like an educator than a doctor, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, back to the origin of the word doctor, it was educator. It became medical doctor in 1935. And then still it was educator all the way up until the 70s and 60s and 70s. And then that's when it really started to become, no, they have all the power and all the control. And it went from educator to dictator. I tell you what, and you have to listen to me. And if you don't listen to me, you're going to be hurt, sick. Matter of fact, doctors could stop you from going to work. Doctors could stop you from getting a job, holding a political office. Super powerful. And that's changing now. And we're going back to educators, which we really are. And what I've loved about working with you over the last couple of years is your your willingness to learn. You've taken acupuncture and you've taken and created a new way of working with the body using acupuncture with fascial maneuvers, with movement and stuff like that. And I got to see a little bit of it back where I had that video of you.
Yeah.
And and
Do you
and so
remember when I put the first needle in you, right in it would have been Ren 12?
yeah.
And it was like, that's correlated with the stomach. and everyone in the room got nauseous because you got nauseous.
Yeah, yeah. And so one thing that happens, the other part that happens, and this is why, everybody says, what's his sign? He's a Scorpio. So everybody says to me, they always go, I want to spend time with you. I want to come get treatment by you. Well, I had Troy Casey here, and certified health nut. Now, the guy legitimately takes care of himself. Like, he's one of the better guys on the planet, takes care of himself. Well, after a day and a half with me, 2 days with me, he was like down and out for 3 days, hardcore detoxing to the point where he was questioning whether he was going to live. And and I said, well, be careful what you ask for, because what you were saying is true. It's not just the frequency of feeling what's going on. People start to detox when they're in our presence. And since I've seen you last, before it was like noticeable. Now it's at the point where I literally block my energy when I'm around people for anything more than a couple minutes if I don't know them. Like, even at a restaurant, I will actually pull my energy in and just and with purpose, because I'll get on a Zoom call with somebody, like I did with partners in Europe, and they all detoxed the next day, and they spent 3 days detox, and just all of them. Or they all randomly caught a Zoom virus.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me in the least. That's one of the things that's most profound about just being in your guys' presence is things just get kicked up. Like last time I was in Casa
Yeah.
Mayakan, we had a treatment, and then there was like a 3 day period after that like you did some shifts and adjustments, and we just worked through some stuff. And I mean, I was going through a lot at that point in my life, like a pretty big transition, even while I was down there, like unexpectedly.
Mhm.
And it just made you feel like you were literally on a psychedelic. Like
Yeah.
that is kind of the presence of what you guys do. And that's the thing that I've always actually been trying to bring clinically before I met you guys is like, how do we get people to have really large experiences, but not to the point where you feel so frightened by it or you don't know how to make sense of it or like there's a hard time integrating. And with everything, you can slowly do that. It doesn't have to be like a full rip the band-aid off. And that's the whole education side of things rather than doing things for people.
Well, I mean, this is what the resets are for. That's why I tell people, do some of the resets, do the 28-day reset, get in the lifestyle artist program, and start working that stuff out. Because then when you do get in a spot where you're with us or with you, you're more ready for it. Now, you guys have started a new venture out there, and you're in PA, Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, so we're in Easton, Pennsylvania, and that's right between New York and Philadelphia, about an hour and a half, depending on time and traffic and where you're at. And
And tell me about what it's set up like. I saw it, first of all, beautiful space.
yeah,
Super cool. I saw that. So you guys are hosting classes there, you're doing treatments there, you are doing workshops and stuff like that, is right?
all the above. Yeah, so right now we have a 12-week series for doing all the fascial maneuver classes, and we've adjusted them or modified them to correlate with an organ, each organ in Chinese medicine, there are
Yeah.
12. And so we focus on one organ specifically a week, and that's every Tuesday, 6:30 to 7:30. And then we have workshops, 5 of them that are coming up here sporadically on Saturdays. And that is a deeper dive into fascial maneuvers, somatic experiencing, and some hands-on acupuncture stuff. And then we definitely do some one-on-ones. It is all 3 practitioners, so myself, Manny, and Sadi, and that is obviously emulated after you guys because there's just nothing like having a 3 practitioner experience compared to a one. Like the
Yeah,
amount that the
yeah. I
body.
mean, it's so much different, so much different. And that's what it's designed for. It's designed for 3 or more to work together. Even 3 working together. Like if we're working on each other at 1, 2, 3 works, or if we're working on a 4th one. What I like about that is it gives us the ability to observe the experience rather than being in it. That's why 3 with 1 just has this amplified effect. As a matter of fact, when I saw the fascial maneuvers in a vision, my very first statement, I was channeling and I wrote down this whole statement. And basically, what I saw was the body. I saw that four people, three and then one, coming to a peak of tension, and then the tension releasing without any stress being fired. And I actually tried to put that in words, and I did. I put it in. I described the experience, and that's what later on became the partner fascial maneuvers, and that was coming out of the clinic. So I think that somewhere along the line, whatever you guys are working on, you're going to find some new way to address or to use or to work with it that we hadn't. I mean, that's the intention of fashion maneuvers. The intention of it is it's a philosophy, and it's so you take and adapt the philosophy and create a style that people then will resonate with.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you guys have set the framework for so much possibility, and like even as you guys have throughout the time too, it's like they started off more static, and now you guys flow with it. And similarly over here, you know that it's really about getting people to be more attuned to their own body. So even when we're educating or we're in the front of a class or a workshop, it ultimately is about what feels good in the other person's body, and you know where I'm stuck is not where another person is. So it is just a philosophy. It's not like, hey, A plus B equals C. It's what works for you.
So what's changed in your world since May in the way that you address fascial maneuvers, the way you address treatment? Like what has changed in the way you either the patients, how you see them, what you do with them, what the results are?
So for pretty much every patient, whether I see them one-on-one or otherwise, the organ reset is always number one for me. It's unprecedented. It's like literally what in 4 years of acupuncture school they try to talk about. It's like the imbalance of the organs and the meridians, and all of that's great, and you can treat it that way. But at the end of the day, you can just go straight to the organ, have a conversation with it, listen to it, move it subtly, breathe with it, and that has the greatest impact. And you've said that since I met you,
Yeah.
and so that's always number one. And then a lot of it is I just don't treat symptoms anymore. Like it's just they're just an expression, right?
Sure.
You want to detox, your body needs to move, and I still have people that will come in for whether it's low back pain or something more internal medicine, especially people that are struggling, and you want to get the smoke out of the kitchen. But at the end of the day, I just don't fully believe in that you should just be chasing the symptom. It's like, well, what created the symptom in the first place?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of doctors and practitioners that will talk about that, and it sounds cute, and then they'll come up with a protocol, and then you'll take supplements, and it'll work for a period of time, and then you'll tap out and plateau, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like point blank, I know some of the best functional medicine doctors in the entire country, like personally, and there's a few of them that I would trust with my own well-being, like not even a handful.
I'm with you. And the challenge is it's not that they're not good people and they do know the body. This is what I say is that in medicine, all views of medicine, whether it's Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic, functional, allopathic, even the way that meridian medicine or frequency medicine is being practiced, we say, what's the symptom? And then we find a frequency or a medicine or something to treat the symptom. And because finding cause, I have to understand the body in order to find cause. A symptom anybody can point out. I can point it out and say, I have this. I can maybe point another layer. Do you also have this? Oh yeah, I have that too. But to find cause, there has to be an innate understanding of what the body is doing or trying to say, because the body's communicating to us.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where it goes down because we don't teach this. We don't teach practitioners or doctors anymore to learn the body. And furthermore, the education we have in the body, like I always say that the symptomatic solution is like a macro, a spreadsheet where it's got all the formulas. You put in what it is, whatever it is that you have, and it spits out all the different symptoms or things that you can do. And that's how we learn medicine. But what they did is they took in the value, which impacts the spreadsheet. They took the value of what is a human being and how is this human being constructed and made. And they told us what that value was, but they didn't let us find it out. They just said, here's the way it is, don't question us. And simple little things like are the bones structured? Does the brain move the body? Is muscle the strength or the movement? I mean, how do we move? We move emotionally. All these different things were told to us, and then my whole journey was to find out that those weren't actually true. That means that when I go into the symptomatic part, I start putting stuff into the spreadsheet, and it works until it doesn't. I have found that every form of medicine or care, it doesn't matter what it is, it works until it doesn't. And the reason on the grander scale is because at the end of it, it requires me to do it to you.
Yep.
That's the first thing. Body heals itself. I'm dependent on somebody else. And after that decision, nothing goes right if I depend upon somebody else. Everything, I mean, I might get results, I might change something, I might transition, but that's the fork in the road. And then there's a couple of forks after that, but those are the big ones.
Yeah. I mean, it's really simple. Like, we want to focus on the physical so much, but the reality is that we have an experience that makes us move through the world. And ultimately, if you don't believe you can change and you're just following someone's directions, but what's that going to do? You're not actually changing even this. Like, if you believe in the brain is doing it all, like, that's not changing anything. You're just A plus B equals C from the supplement standpoint or from whatever therapy someone decides. But at the end of the day, you're the person who got there in the first place. And yes, it might be life decisions, it might be chemicals, but it's so much bigger than that. It's like literally how you do everything. Like, have you ever noticed, Gary, how when you're at like for instance, take Pete, right? What's Pete's last name again?
Evans.
Yeah, Pete Evans. So the way that he prepares food is going to be slow and methodical and very intentional. And Pete's food is, if you just follow Pete online, which is hard to do now these days, that
But he
he,
got canceled. He got canceled.
oh yeah, he got revoked for something fierce a couple of years ago, and he was at the forefront of like really trying to say some stuff.
Yeah.
But I digress. So the point of me saying this is that like when someone really takes time and attention to details, they could have the same ingredients as someone else who just quickly throws it together, but the food can taste completely different based upon how low and slow it was simmered, how it was one ingredient first versus the second. And at the end of the day, that's the same thing as people. Like, you can have the same ingredients, but if you're not going slow and listening to what it is that the dish is asking for, it's not going to taste as good.
Yes. You know, one of the things that's what I like about working with essential oil wizardry, Dr. Nick. I have not found oils anywhere in the world that are even equal to it. And one of the things that when I go to his shop to work with him, he communes with the plants and asks them what order they want to be put in. Then he puts them together, he builds a profile, and you can taste it, you can smell it, it smells differently, and then he puts it into the big vat of it, puts it into a big frequency bowl, and then it actually smells and tastes different after he does that. I mean, to the point where you're going, this is not the same oil. And this is what I love about what Pete's doing and about what Nick does. It's the intent of the organization of the ingredients. And what I love about what you're doing with acupuncture and with healthcare and medicine and deal with patients, it's the intent of the organization of the ingredients. You're showing people how to help themselves. Like, you're right. An organ reset is super powerful. It's 70% of what you would do as an acupuncturist right off the bat. And if they do it, they are now a part of that treatment. So whatever I do afterwards is amplified and gets better. That's what I love about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the funny thing about this too, Gary, is like the first style of acupuncture that I was attracted to is called classical five element. In classical five element, they don't treat symptoms at all. So the way that they diagnose is through color, odor, sound, and emotion. And so it's about the essence of a person and what that is evoking. Because their mouth noises will lie to you all day,
Yeah.
or because they're believing their story. But the essence of someone who they are doesn't change.
Right.
And so this thing that I was attracted to since day one, and the other option would have been traditional Chinese medicine, which is not traditional at all. It was made in the 70s during the Mao era. And they just came up in a room. They're like, hey, what are the aggregate of symptoms? And this equals a pattern. But you're still treating the symptoms. And what I'm getting
Yes.
at here is that
Yes.
that style of acupuncture that I was originally attracted to, like nothing has changed within me of like what I truly believe, which is that there is a person having an experience, and that is way more important than chasing any symptom. And that is why I was attracted to your guys' work, as it not only tied it all together, but you cut the middleman out and like you cut the story out. You can just go straight to the experience.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, I mean, that is the important part, cutting the story out. So what's happening now? You're doing classes, you're doing these things. Can people actually come to classes, or how does it work? They have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
book?
You can go to the new house, or I'll throw it up in my bio at the end here. Signing up for a class on Tuesdays, and as mentioned, like that's organ specific, and then workshops are more incorporated on the elemental of Chinese medicine, so incorporates a couple different organs. And then for one-on-ones, you guys can always DM me. But big picture, we're moving more towards what you guys are doing, which is ultimately having weekend experiences, especially for people in the city, New York City or Philly, who have followed you guys, have had an experience, and they want to go deeper. And in that deeper means is fascial maneuvers, some of it's somatic experience, and some of the other
Yeah.
work that we do, like acupuncture, etc.
Yeah.
But big picture, it's actually you were the person who gave me the idea, which is that people need to have a submersive experience. Like
Yeah.
people are
Yeah.
looking for these outlets, and I think you even called them like a halfway house once upon a time.
Yes. Yeah. 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 It's a
Where it's
halfway house.
like if
It's a
they go to you
it's
guys,
residential community center is what you're doing. It's like
yeah,
it's like you're gonna go somewhere and you can stay there for a couple of days to get you out.
yeah. And the cool thing about New House is like we have multiple different levels in the facility. Like where I'm at is in the yoga room and studio two, and big picture to have like the full like submersive experience, and that is shortly to come. We're laying the groundwork for all of that right now. Um, but yeah, nothing beats the experience of it all, and I think it's a good in tandem with what you guys are doing in the sense of like you guys have big week-long retreats, and then if someone wants like a taste of it but they can't go all the way down to Cancun for a week, they can have a 2 day or a 3 day here with us.
Well, I mean, that's the intention. The intention is to create residential community treatment centers, or centers where people gather, they learn, they do fascial maneuvers, they can get treatment, they can get supplements, they can get emotional or even medical related support. That's the vision, and you guys are laying out that vision, and I expect people to start following that model, because right now, like there's a transition for someone to go. They come from a city, they come out, they do fashion mirrors, they come for a 1 week immersive experience. They go back, their lives are changed, but
Hmm.
the level of change sometimes can be a little disruptive.
Yeah.
They need a bridge, and that's what I see. And the other part too is that, especially with the world's at right now, it's not reasonable to think that everybody's going to be able to do that.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, you guys have more than a million touch points, and there's a lot more people that want access to you guys. And so those of us who have been educated with you and spent substantial time with you, it's I think about it as like responsibility and duty to pass it forward.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, what what we do is emulated on you guys, but ultimately like it's still being created and driven by us. So it's our own flavor of it to some degree. Like there's still the model and the structure behind it, but it,
Yeah.
it has to be authentic to us. And that's what I've learned from you guys actually just through observation is you guys are so uniquely yourself. And if you're not creating from that space and you're trying to copy somebody else, it's never going to be what you want it to be. Like you
Yeah.
have to make it your own. And that's what we're learning here as a team and growing together. And of course there's like twists and turns and some road bumps here or there, but it's been not even a month since the team's been together. And this has been a 2 year dream of mine, and it's coming to fruition in reality. So
And
it's
you,
been really
well, you
fun.
got and you got a lot of experience. I mean, Manny has been on this journey with us for like 3 years, 4 years, 4 years now.
Manny, you want to say hi? All right, come on over.
Man,
Hey,
Vinder,
Gary, how's it
how
going?
you doing? How's
Good,
it
man. How
going?
are you?
We're seeing you on this side of the camera.
I know, right? Yeah, I'm usually on the other side, just kind of zooming in on your face very slowly.
So for everybody who's out there, Manbinder was created all the videos, all the content, all the stuff that you saw that created Fascial maneuvers and brought it to life. He was part of the very first original training program, and we worked with 6 people in person, immersive 3 days a week, and you came from that. So
Mm.
so it's been quite the journey to see this whole thing. How's it living in the States, by the way?
It's interesting. It's very different. It's. I find it funny because I found a state that's very similar to being on the West Coast. There's a lot of nature. It's very open, and the energy here is very quiet. I find where when I visited, sorry, in Dallas, it had very frantic energy, and so
Yeah.
we're just kind of outside the city, so we're near the big centers, but we're far enough away where it feels, yeah, it feels a lot more quiet. So I've been enjoying it, and also grocery is way cheaper than it was in Vancouver. So yeah,
It's
it's been nice.
it's always good if you guys haven't done it yet. Follow Newhouse, but it's always good because as soon as the videos come up, I already know it's got the look, it's got the feel, it's got the music behind it. By the way, it's all his music that's behind this stuff too.
Yeah, it's always been about creating a feeling. I mean, even when I was working with you guys, it's not about just pumping out, education or videos, but it's giving a feeling that'll translate through the screen to the person. I think that's what really helps people connect is when they experience that feeling, because we're so used to consuming content that is, high production, but it stimulates you in a different way. And I think nowadays we get turned off by that, and especially when you feel like you're being sold to. And we just want to give you value so you have that experience.
Well, super excited to see you guys on your new journey, your new mission.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's good to connect with you again, Gary. I'm sure we'll be
Yeah.
talking a lot more.
Oh, we'll be talking soon for sure. Guys, it's been a pleasure. In the comments, can you put down the web properties and the Instagram handle and stuff like that so people can follow?
I'm gonna
Yeah,
mention.
it looks like Lisa just did.
Okay, awesome. Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Lisa.
Take care.
Take
See
care.
you.
Thank you.
See you,
Have a
Gary.
good rest of your day. Appreciate you
Take
guys.
care.
Thank you so much.
Okay, that was interesting. If you guys are anywhere in the Pennsylvania area, go check it out. There'll be some cool classes there. Okay, Chris Alva, I want to talk to you. I want to see what's going on. And we got, hey, Chris, how you doing?
Hey Gary, how are you?
Good. Chris, whereabouts are you right now?
Sorry?
Whereabouts are you right now?
What was it? I'm not getting it.
Where are you right now?
Oh, where am I? I'm at my house, the place I'm staying here. Just getting close to the modem.
Oh,
That's the golf course in the back.
where is that? Mexico?
Yeah, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. That's home
Oh,
for me.
so no more apartment.
Uh, no, the apartment I own it, but it's usually on Airbnb.
Oh yeah.
So it's like on and off. I come in and out. Yeah, remember I'm pretty much like homeless, right?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, but it looks pretty homey right there.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful spot. It's right here in the marina in Puerto Vallarta, right on the golf course. It's a beautiful spot.
So what's been going on since we talked last? I'm curious. So for everybody, everybody, just give me your birthdays so people who are new will know.
So I am August 18, 1990.
Yeah.
I was born around 9 p.m. So yeah, I'm pretty much a 9,
Yeah.
whatever that means. So I've heard that is the end of the cycle. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've heard many
So what's been
things, but
going on? What's been changing?
so I did my sound bowl healing course,
Yeah.
and I did my Reiki course.
Hmm.
So I pretty much started doing Reiki, Reiki to myself, Reiki to people that I know, that I trust, like friends, close friends. And it's been something. It's been really something very special because it seems like I am able to tap into energy, and I'm really working on that. I'm really working on that. I'm feeling it. Now, something that happened, not yesterday, the day before yesterday, uh, I was doing something. I think I was studying my Reiki manuals, and just came to my mind to check my phone, and I got on Instagram, and you were live. So I clicked on it, and I was watching you going live, and just like right away, like as soon as I got on it, um, I've been doing Reiki on everything I do. Like before I eat, I try to do Reiki on my food. If I'm gonna study something, like in this case, I was studying the manuals, I tapped into Reiki. So I was pretty much tapped into Reiki when I got on the phone and got into your IG live, and you were talking to this lady. I think she does essential oils, right? And I think you were doing like a quantum field protection.
Right.
And the moment you were doing that, you said, "Hey guys, you guys should be able to feel it. You guys should try it, and maybe you'll feel it." So I kind of got into your vibration, your frequency that you were, and as you were moving your body, as you were moving your hand through your body, doing the quantum field protection, I could feel your hand going through my body. Like I could feel your energy passing through my body as if you
Yeah,
were
I
right in
mean
front of me.
that's how it works. I mean, that's how it works right there. I mean,
Right.
so because there, if you can do Reiki, I mean remote Reiki, distance Reiki, you're working with an energy field. There is no space between the field. That's just space we have in the physical world. But what causes space or the breakdown in the field is the belief system. And
The belief
we were
system.
just talking about that with Dr. Christian a few minutes ago. Um, when people come and they spend time in our presence, they start having a change in their body. Like right away, it's visceral. They'll start, changing skin tones and stuff will start moving. Sometimes perceived positive, sometimes perceived like, holy shit, what's going on? and and that's normal. And because the field, it doesn't know boundaries. So if I can work with you this far away and you feel something, then I can work with you this far away.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually learning on the sound bowl healing course, which if you work with someone within 5 to 10 centimeters, up to 15, you work on their emotional body, and if you go up to 30 centimeters, you work on their mental body, and if you go up a little higher, you work on their spiritual body.
Yeah. So what they're talking about is layers. So what is the human body? Like we say that we have an aura. You hear me say this all the time. We don't have an aura or an entropic field. There's a bunch of energy that's a human experience. At the center of it is this stubby, thick, lethargic, dense human that we identify with. But that experience starts out there. And it isn't in layers. It's how we connect to the world, how we connect to our community, how we connect to ourselves. It's imbued with the three regions of the brain, the lower brain, the midbrain, the upper brain. It's imbued with the astrology step system, the first decan, second decan, third decan. It's all like that. It's imbued in threes. One joint, two joints, three joints. One, two, three. One, two, three. So every part of consciousness exists in threes. We're a triangle, which is three beams of light, which allows you and I to see each other. That's the third dimension. He's gone. Well, that's what you call. By the way, that's been happening to me all day. I've been on Zoom calls and people have been cutting off. What is raking? Reiki, Reike, right? Or I? It's just, you guys, it's all energy work. You know, like people go, I have this somatic practice, it's energy work. I have this chiropractic practice, it's energy work. I have this functional medicine practice, it's energy work. I have this internal medicine practice. At the end, it's all energy work. How much you do with the physical body, it determines the output or the effectiveness of it. The less you do with the physical body, the more effective it is. Yeah.
Next guest is in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Gary.
Hey, Chris. So that's cool. That's cool that you could feel the field. So basically, what it is you're starting to learn how to project and feel your energy. And what that does is it requires to be calm inside. There's a scientific term, a way of describing inside outside noise. It's like when you do fascial maneuvers and you breathe into it, all of a sudden it's like it gets quiet in the room. Well, the room didn't change noise level, but we change, and that's what you're experiencing. Is when you get quiet inside yourself, you can start to sense the granular layers of energy. And the reason why most people don't feel energy is they're just too stressed out, too dehydrated, and they haven't been trained. It's like anything, though.
Yeah, honestly, it's amazing. It's amazing how we can just tap into that and just heal ourselves, like you said, through the myofascial maneuvers. You can literally heal yourself, right? And today in the meeting, I was actually kind of mixing myofascial maneuvers into Reiki as well, while watching you on the video, right?
Sure.
Because I feel like I know the maneuvers, but I feel like I don't really know the exact details. And honestly, I feel like every time I listen to your videos, I catch something new.
Yes.
Like I wasn't ready to actually listen before, but now I am.
They're designed that way. They're designed to be multi-layered and multi-dimensional. Like we didn't just shoot a video. We spent months producing a 15-minute reset. And
Wow, thank
and what happens is at first you see one thing, hear one thing, and then as you go in, you hear more things, and then you have a reflection, and then you have a different understanding of those things that you heard before. It's designed like that because anything that truly transforms the body transforms our ability to perceive the experience that we're in.
you. Yeah. Honestly, I really hope that everyone, if or anyone that is actually able to listen to this right now, and it's able to get into someone that has the ability to activate your Reiki skills, I think it's definitely worth it. Like
You just do fascial maneuvers and get your body clean. You all have Reiki plus a million.
we do have it.
Every single person that I know that doesn't know anything about energy work all of a sudden finds that they can do energy work because it's already in our field. We are trying to learn with our brain systems and programs, but we're trying to learn something that's innate. And when we clear out all the garbage, that innate sense just, it's like knowing, it's like when we walk down a set of stairs. If our knee hurts, we put our arm out. If our knee doesn't hurt, we take it away. That's an innate sensing of the world. That's the way it's supposed to be. We've just lost touch with that. So just keep clearing yourself out, doing the maneuvers, practicing it. And Reiki is just a way of identifying or putting a name to something
Right.
or a pattern to something. But you'll go way past there. Like to an infinite level. And it's anything that has a name, anything that has a name isn't the exact full story. Even fascial maneuvers, they're to get you, it's a philosophy of movement. It's only to get you to a space where you can actually start understanding who you are, why you're here, what it's all about, so you can do something with it. Fascial maneuvers is not a dictatorial process. You don't do 5 of these and 4 of these.
Right.
We give suggestions at the beginning as a minimum effective dose. And then as people start getting the habit of feeling, we say, go do anything you want. You heard Dr. Christian. He's just doing it. He's taking it and making it his own. That's exactly what we want. And when you make it your own, you have your own program. If it works and it resonates with people, you let us know. We'll support you. We'll put you on a stage. We'll we'll take and make it easy for people to hear you, see you, get access to you. That's the whole point. This is a philosophy. It's free to everybody because it's innate in everybody.
Absolutely. I mean, I couldn't agree more to that. You know, I think we all have that energy, as you said. I mean, that's what we are, right? We are energy um, trapped into this Maya fascia.
We're
Um,
not trapped.
well,
We
not
were we were we were told that we're trapped, and just like when you uh, put a rope around an elephant's leg, and as a baby, it thinks as an adult that it can't move away from that rope. That's what was happening.
right.
You
This,
can't trap a human. You can't trap a human spirit. You can you can tell it something that traps itself. We are the trap.
right, right, right. Yeah, it could be also a language barrier, but I meant to say that just that energy, it's just capsuling here. But I guess that's part of the program as well, because it's not actual capsule, right? It's extended into the wholeness, the everything.
Yeah. It's awesome, Chris. Hey, I've gotta go. We got another guest coming up. So good to talk to you. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Gary. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it too.
Take care,
Take care.
Chris. Okay. We have pretty quickly. We have an interesting guest coming up. It's gonna be fun. Who has 10 children these days? Hey, if for all you mothers out there, put down the number of children you have, especially if you have a lot. Right? Just like, do you have two? Do you have four? And I know, don't include your husbands in the number of children, okay? Just put down the number of children underneath your age category. Because we're going to be talking to Yolanda. She's done free births. She got two, four, got three, and she has 10 children, and she's birthed them outside of the medical system. And I was just impressed with the story. One, three. Anybody beat three yet? Two natural births. I have three, two. Yeah. You guys still laughing about that one. Six. Hey, there we go. Six and a five right after. Look at that. Six and five right afterwards. You know, there was a day four. Somebody say 15? My gosh. Did you really say 15? I gotta talk to you after. Two bursts. Two, four, two. But they're kitties. Oh, yeah. Uh, two natural, one hospital. That's cool. That's cool. 15. Whoa, that is super well. You know what the handle is?
It is Bouse House, Bouse,
Okay, so she's coming up.
yeah,
So not there yet.
email on the
Okay, I can actually. Hey, Brittany, how you doing there? It's my daughter. Okay, what's it called? Bounce House? B.
It is
Guys, just give me a second here.
BAUHAS, BAUHAUS wife. Bow House,
Okay.
BAU. I don't think she's there
Uh,
yet.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I've been messaging with their assistant. So
Okay.
she's good to go.
Okay, we're just getting ready here. 15. Wow. Okay, Gina Ann, 2007. Grandma had 17. Yeah, those are the days, right? They had a whole bunch of children just in case a couple of them flaked out. You always say, look at my good children over here. Yeah, the ones over there, not so good. Just kidding. So Gina Ann, 2007. Out of curiosity, what's the ratio between uh, boys and girls or female male? I'm not sure if I can even say that anymore. Okay. 15. That's really, really cool. 4, 2 twin Pisces. That's fun, eh? Um, and by the way, did you get, you know what happened for me? It switched over at 1:40 p.m. It switched to step 20, which is the galactic, it's 20 degree, and it's a 20-degree new moon. And it happened at 1:40 here where I am, Eastern time. And at 1:44, I got up, and I have not, 11 girls, 4 boys. Whoa, my goodness. Any twins in there, Gina? Um, and I couldn't go back to sleep, so I just got up and did my normal thing. And it was for a couple hours, and I'm like, why is this going on? And I looked in the morning, and um, the step change happened right at 1:40. It woke me up. Like I got right up out of my seat. Because I know today's a big day. One of my son's birthdays today. Hey, Scott, Cynthia's daughter's birthday's today. Powerful, powerful day to have a birthday. Okay. Let's see here.
Let's see. I may not be able to see.
I should be able to. Just hang with me, guys. We're just.
Tag her again so you can see. I just dropped it in again.
No, I see it. I just can't get to the link. B-A-U-H.
Yeah.
B-A-U-H. Oh. Is it Kristen Bauer? Are you in the feed, Kristen? Makes a Nourish Organic. So tell me about birthdays today. Yeah, if you have a birthday today, super, super powerful manifester. You're probably doing 10 things at once. If you're under 30, you probably can't decide what you're doing. It looks like frantic to the rest of the world. If you're over 30, you're probably getting it together. So yeah, so sorry, Gina, was that any twins? No twins. Oh my gosh. Now I have to know how many years in between, Gina? 15 children. Curious. How many years? There we go. Here we go. Hi, Yolanda.
Hey,
Is it Yolanda, right?
see
Or is
that?
it-
Yes. Yes. Sounds like an A, but it is actually an E.
Oh, well, okay. And you're from Canada?
I am from Canada. Yes, I was born in Vancouver.
You were born in Vancouver. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Vancouver as well, in Point Grey, Kitsilano.
Yeah,
And
my kids grew up in Kitsilano, so
really, hey,
yeah, like Kerrisdale Elementary.
yep. hmm
I took them out of private schools and I put them in Kerrisdale because it was the same thing at the end of the day.
It would be, yes. Correct.
So how long? So tell me a little bit about yourself. You're from Canada. How old are you?
I just turned 43 in January.
Wow,
And
you look fantastic.
thank you. Thank you so much.
And when's your birthday, Yolanda?
January 28th, 1981.
Oh, you're an Aquarius too. My goodness. Okay, you're a 6th-degree Aquarius.
Perhaps I'm not well versed in astrology, but I do enjoy
Are
it.
you
So I'm
are you really artistic?
I yes, I am
Yeah,
very artistic, very
yeah,
creative.
probably 6th-degree.
Okay.
So you just had your birthday. You're probably feeling a little bit better after your birthday because coming up to your birthday on your 42 was your balance year. So last year would have been everything for you coming in and out of balance, like all that. It would have been like life being torn up in a good way.
That's a very accurate description of my previous year, and I definitely feel a sense of like this is my year to shine.
Yeah. Well, you're in your Pisces year in the year of Capricorn. So that means, and today's a manifestation day. So today and this weekend, is like by tomorrow, it'll happen for everybody, but by Sunday they'll realize it, or Monday at the latest. Is there's a change in everybody's story that they didn't see coming, and they're gonna go, oh, I didn't see that coming. It's all good,
That
but
makes sense.
it's going to be a change in the story. And tonight was exceptionally, because this full moon is really weird. Our new moon is a weird one. It's 20 degrees. So it has all the characteristics of a full moon. So people were like feeling it in their bodies, water moving, women with menstrual issues or pains or lots of headaches. And for me, I'm on East Coast time. So I got up at like right when it changed. I'm like up out of bed, like, what happened? And I didn't even realize till this morning that it was the step check.
Interesting. I felt all of that, so it makes perfect sense to me.
So you have 10 children,
I do.
and they range in age from,
From 23, almost 23, to Margaret is now almost 8 weeks old.
well, oh, me, oh, the really, 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 okay. So it just happened.
Yeah,
My God,
yeah.
you're glowing. That's why you're still glowing. Uh,
Oh, she might end up joining us, by the way. She's having a little nap and she's in someone else's arms at the moment, but she
that would be
prefers
great.
me. So
That'd be great. Yeah, completely welcome. And kids really, children really change the dynamic. Like in our community, we started with one 7-year-old that was here daily with us, and when she's not here, the interactions of the adults are very different when she's here. And she's a little Taurus, so she goes around. She has her time with each person, but it's amazing, like picking up second languages super fast, and maturing emotionally really fast. Because I mean, also too, we're pretty conscious about ourselves, so it rubs off really quick. But when you have that many children with 123, so basically you got a manager and babysitters already built into the program.
that's true. However, my two oldest children, they live in Vancouver and they're adults and off on their lives. So the second batch of kids runs from 15 to newborn. But you're absolutely right. We have a very inbuilt clan. We have our own sort of familial ecosystem and community, it feels like. And our older kids help so much. And it's just a very enjoyable environment. We have our moments, of course, but we have a pretty good time for the most part. And yeah, we get along pretty well.
So what happened was is that I caught, I don't spend a lot of time on social media. Actually, you would think that we, with millions of people following us, that I'd spend a lot of time, but I don't. And usually in between looking at our media or answering questions for people, I will catch a video or two comes up, and so you came up into my feed, and then the same day somebody recommended that I look at you. And I'm like, okay, there is no accidents here. So I'm gonna reach out, and I wanted to see, because I wanted to know more about your journey. I first of all, I have a completely different view of the birthing system based upon the physical attributes of the body, how fascia works, and like way out there views. And we could talk about some of them possibly. But I believe that we're coming into a time when all of the traditional values and viewpoints are going to be not only challenged but turned upside down. And I feel that you've already been doing that. So tell me a little bit about your journey, your platform, and why you're doing what you do.
Wow. Okay. Well, I became pregnant for the first time when I was 19 years old. Okay. There we go. Sweetheart. Hi, there we go. This is Margaret.
I'm Margaret. When was your birthday?
Her birthday was December 24th.
Capricorn.
Mm.
She was born with her mind made up.
Yes, and it's very evident. It's very evident now. Oh, lovely.
So she's a 2-degree Capricorn. So she's a community builder. She, Shoot. So what all her actions will be to bring the community together even as a baby.
That resonates with me, certainly. Lovey, there you go. Yes, she's definitely prefers to be with mom.
Yeah.
Um, yes, I was pregnant for the first time when I was 19 years old, and this was my big rebellion because I was destined to become a high-powered lawyer or something. Um, so I had to do my own thing. And actually, my family was very supportive, but it was unexpected. Uh, and my first pregnancy actually ended in a miscarriage, and I'd already been conditioned, taught by my mother, who was very unconventional and was always into natural healing and really believed in the body's capacity to heal spontaneously. And we never saw doctors or really interacted with the medical system as kids. But when I began to miscarry, this first pregnancy, it was such an unexpected experience for me. And my mom wasn't had no experience with miscarriage or natural birth either. All of her three children, I'm the eldest of three, we were all born in the hospital. So she was ahead of the curve in many ways, but I've taken things further. I think it's our role as children in this evolutionary process. And so when I started to experience the signs of miscarriage, I did what other people suggested I should do, and I went to the hospital. And it was an incredibly traumatic, abusive experience. And it was also transformational because I had a moment of awareness and clarity as I was exiting the hospital after having gone through a whole rigmarole. I had just an immediate sense of knowing that I would never be back again. I would never have anything to do with that system ever again. And I ended up getting pregnant again 2 weeks later.
Mhm.
Uh, and
That's a soul wanting to come into this world.
yeah, that is absolutely true. And I think it's also that I have a sense of needing to repair something
Yeah.
that do that process. So yeah, I became pregnant again, and I knew that I would not have anything to do with the medical system, and I ended up getting connected with a newly registered midwife. So in the province of BC at the time, this was 1999 or 2000, and midwifery had just been regulated in the province of British Columbia. And I heard about this and I was very excited because this meant that I could have a midwife and the government would pay for it. So what a gift. Anyway, to make a very long story short, I connected with this regulated midwife and I had 2 or 3 appointments with her. And I could sense immediately that we were not in alignment. And I didn't really have any political awareness at the time, but I just knew that given that this person was representing government health care, essentially, our values were not in alignment. And so I ended up seeking out an illegal underground midwife, and my connection
You
with that
rebel,
woman.
you.
I feel, yeah, and I trained in birth work with this woman, and she attended my first 2 births, and that was those were such positive experiences, and she did such a wonderful job of not just supporting me in my choices, but really reflecting to me in every interaction we had that I was the sole authority of my body and of the birth experience, and that birth was a normal, spontaneous event and really nothing to make a big deal out of. And so I went on and met my husband after my first 2 babies were born. Um, and we decided that we would maybe have 2 children like normal people. And after the birth of our first child, I had done some doula work and work in the birth space prior to that. But it was really after the birth of my third child with my husband, after having moved to the east coast of Canada, that women started to come to me and ask me to support them in their births. So my third baby was born at home with only my husband present. We had a friend come in and help with just some practical things, but really it was just me and my husband, because in New Brunswick the birth scene was very different. There was no regulated midwifery at the time, and so I started doing midwifery work in New Brunswick because women were interested in the kinds of births that I was having, and things really snowballed from there. And in the years that followed, my husband and I ended up continuing to just have more babies, sort of accidentally on purpose. Never part of the plan initially, but with each child, we realized that we were having more and more fun. And there's a really pervasive there's a pervasive narrative in our culture, and I see things changing in this regard as well, but there's an idea that that having more than 2.5 children, or 4 at the very, is not only backwards and strange and selfish and weird, but also that to have a large family um, is really profoundly irresponsible. And I don't think that's true, obviously. And I also think that there are some really interesting benefits and gifts, not only for us as parents in having a large family, but I see that our kids have a really interesting perspective on life, and they have opportunities to grow and to be and to feel activated in the context of our large family, that's not a detriment as most people believe. I think, as I said, it's actually really a wonderful thing. So we're having a lot of fun. I really love my life, and I'm very, very happy with all of my beautiful children. And I also teach midwifery with my colleague Emily Saldea, and we run a school called the Radical Birthkeeper School. So it's an online midwifery program, and I also teach self-healing and birth liberation in a number of different ways. So that's
No,
that's
you remind me a lot of my partner Cynthia, her her daughter, whose birthday is today, by the way, and so she had her first child at 18, and it was a crazy story. The first time that she kissed a boy,
mhm.
yeah, super powerful, right? I mean, it's like you got to know that there's, and this little girl coming through is a Libra, uh, and it's super powerful in the experience because sometimes, like, I've been trying to, I mean, taking everything aside and getting really weird. I've been looking at miracle births because as a medical practitioner, I've had a number of people, including in my own family, where the men have a vasectomy. There is no sperm, but there is still a baby, and we just say, "Oh, it's a miracle," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's a miracle, great," but there is a way it's happening, which means that maybe birth isn't all biological.
Oh, birth is definitely not all
Yeah,
biological, I don't think.
I mean, I don't think so either. I mean, we can agree upon that, but I'm drawing a very walking down a line and path, and now on the other end of the scale, because I just seen too many examples where people shouldn't have got pregnant and they did, and one of the things that we started doing in the clinical setting was helping women get pregnant, lots of them, yeah, like thousands, and without all natural. But now with our fascial maneuvers out there, we have women coming out of menopause in their mid to late 60s.
Wow.
And again, changing a norm because menopause is not a function of age, it's a function of stress, wear and tear, and malnutrition in the body.
Mhm.
And when we change that, then it changes. But we've been told the story, like you said, about how it goes. Go ahead.
I absolutely agree with all of that, and I also think that phenomena that are seen as normal, like menopause, are also a function of belief. When we believe and expect that at a certain age there's going to be a certain kind of transformative change, then I think our cells recruit to bring that into reality.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, belief, listen, from a scientific standpoint, belief is in the body is called placebo effect. So 4.5 million studies, 60 years now. Um, we have proven that one third of the time, the surgery or the medication, it's only what you believe that it's going to work, which conversely shows one third you don't believe it will work and it doesn't, which statistically invalidates the other third. It's all belief, and this is where, as a practitioner, I came down to saying, you know, it doesn't, I asked people. I had somebody the other day who was stage 4 cancer, and I said, what do you believe? And at the end of it, because they're asking me for my belief, and I'm like, don't matter what I believe. So if you believe you're going to die, you're going to die. If you believe you're going to live, you're going to live. And this is every function of the human body. I mean, we fast, and in the third day of a fast, we produce stem cells. Stem cells have the ability to become any cell in human biology. That means that by, by that scientific definition, it can become a sperm for an egg.
Peter.
So I think we're in this weird space, and that's why I wanted to talk to you, because you're doing something really awesome. You're helping women liberate themselves from a belief system, and um, and that belief system is, like you said, it's the way it is, But here's another one too. It's normal to breathe 15 to 16 breaths per minute, but it's also simultaneously scientifically true that after 12 breaths per minute, you're hyperventilating. So it's normal. We're saying it's normal to hyperventilate. That's how our current science world is, specifically around the body. And, having 10 children, I can see the social infrastructure of the children, they're way different.
Yeah.
Your children are different than friends who have two kids, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
What do you notice most about it?
Well, I think it's tricky to make an observation based on just that one variable, because there are a lot of things that we do differently in our family from a lot of other people. So our
Well,
children,
share some.
yeah, our children are not
Yeah.
institutionalized. So we don't send children to school,
Yeah.
with a couple of little exceptions here and there, but for the most part, we keep our children at home. Actually, we keep our children running around the world as they will. They have a lot of freedom. We live in Nicaragua, so just by nature of being in this country, our kids have certain freedoms that are really very tricky to accommodate in a place like Canada.
Sure.
They don't wear
Yeah.
shoes for the most part. They kind of roam the jungle, and there you go.
Honestly, I wear shoes less right now, less than 1 to 2 hours per month. And I've been doing that for years.
Can I ask you where you are based? I'm
Right,
curious.
right now, we're in Cancun. We have a place in Vancouver in Lions Bay.
Okay.
We have a center there, and we're partnering and working with centers all over the world right now to establish. Basically, you say the world's kind of stressed out. They're basically addicts to the life that they live. So we're working with centers to create, like I had a doctor on here just earlier who's basically given up his medical practice, and he's creating these centers to help people transform by giving them new ways of looking at health. Our program is just something that we lived. I was in pain my whole life. I went out and did these at the end of a journey of 25 years of pain and 10 years as a clinical practitioner. I went out and it still was not a pain. So I went out and did these little movements that became fascial maneuvers, and all of a sudden, all my pain went away and all my functions started to change and my life changed. So we share that with the world for free. All of our education and programs, they're all free. And we found ways to fund ourselves through things like supplements and through different media and stuff like that. We have a pretty big media engine. But the idea is giving people homes where they can start to disconnect. I mean, you went to Nicaragua to do that. I want people in Canada to be able to do that in 2 years.
Wow, that's an amazing ambition. I wish you the best. And it sounds like we do have a lot in common because I think overstimulation and over medication are some of the biggest issues that are plaguing human beings right now. And what I know to be true is that the body is always oriented to health and healing, and that all
Naturally.
yeah, all forms of supposed dis-ease are really just responses of the body and attempts to express certain imbalances. And so when it comes to the things that my husband and I do differently with our children, it really starts before birth, even. I don't interact with the industrial medical system whatsoever. I don't participate in any kind of diagnostics or prophylactics. I experience pregnancy as just simply another normal, natural state of being. I don't do any testing or assessments. I just proceed through my life and allow my body to blossom, and then birth happens spontaneously as well. And so I think that the way that we're born actually has a profound impact on everything that comes after. And that's not to say that we can't heal from traumatic birth experiences. Also, I think that that's an assumption that's very, very limiting. I think a lot of women get very caught up in, the belief that birth trauma has a sort of finality to it, which I don't think it does. We can heal from that, but um, we raise our children to know themselves that they can recover and heal very quickly and easily. We just don't interact with any of the normal industrial systems out there, and actually, even in practical ways as well. I kind of forget to talk about this often because it's just so normal for me, but we don't really use any devices for our babies. Our children sleep next to me throughout their infancy and early childhood. And I don't, what's the word? I don't baby proof our house
Yeah,
either.
I
Um,
agree with that. Yeah.
our children are welcome to experience the world as it is, and I think that being able to encounter risk throughout one's life from birth in the context of being held and nurtured by parents. My babies are on my body for the first 6 months of their life for the most part. But when they start to creep and crawl, I actually want them to
Yeah.
encounter steps and rocks and
Yeah.
inclines. And I think it's very important for them to develop a relationship with the external environment in order to really viscerally understand the limitations of their own bodies. And I think that that's one of the reasons why none of our children have broken any bones or had any serious injuries. I
I
think
agree.
that baby
100%.
is risky,
Yeah.
dangerous.
So I'm taking adult babies and then and I'm taking them back to the womb because everything you said is I agree 100% with everything you said. And I'm unwinding from a traditional system, but I got to the peak of fixing people in the world with 52 practitioners. Our clients were the billionaires and the top athletes on the planet. And what I could assess at the top of it is none of it actually works. And and if it didn't work for them, it wasn't going to work for me, and I was still in pain. So I've been unraveling from that. I believe it wholeheartedly in what you do. As a matter of fact, I mean, I had this. So for me, it was a series of inspirations. I had this thought about like I looked at the birth process, like the umbilical cord, the placenta, and I'm like, well, 20% of the cord blood comes back into the body if you let it in the third day. But we cut the umbilical cord, and I'm like, but we saved the placenta in case we have a disease in the future. And why wouldn't we just let the antibody go in at first? And then furthermore, the way I got to it, I didn't know there was a thing called lotus birthing. So, but because I'm come from a still Western mindset. So I'm thinking about the practicality of it. I said, well, who was the first person that when the baby came out said, I'm going to cut that thing off of it? I mean, it just doesn't seem practical. And then the second question is, what did they use to cut it off? Did they bang it off with a rock? Did they chew it off? And I'm like, something's wrong here because we can't answer these basic questions. And I had these inquisitive mind. And then through the development, when we cut the umbilical cord, our body, we see the human body differently. And so I can take like a scoliosis and 1 hour reverse it. I've done it live online for people to see, just so that they can see, but more importantly, they can do it themselves.
Mhm.
And,
Mhm.
and so we believe the body is differently, constructed differently than we've been told. Like bones aren't structure and all this stuff. And if you don't get the diagnostic or the belief of the medical system, then we don't have the fears imbued in us that then cause, if I have a fear, I'm going to draw it to me. And that's where the injury comes from. It's not, there is no accidents. There is experiences that I draw to me.
Absolutely, completely agree with you. Yes, no, there are no accidents. We're always in subconscious relationship with our psyche, our baggage, our environment, all of that. Yeah, actually, what I'm working in the area I'm right now is supporting women in exploring and understanding the possibility that birth is actually not even designed to be intense, let alone painful.
Orgasmic birth. Yeah. I've worked with a lot of orgasmic birth. It's incredible.
It is incredible. And little Margaret here, she was born in exactly 1 hour of total bliss and pleasure and joy. And it was just so much fun and so easy and so normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really great what you're doing. And we're, like we brought this movement. Oh, well, somebody wanted me to bring out the fact that we started we took this knowledge and we gave it to a bunch of parents and we put them in a pilot program for a year. And they're helping their children heal their bodies through taking them off spectrums, removing cancers, all kinds of things. But the parents are doing it. We just gave them the tools. And we have some doctors and practitioners who understand our philosophies that moderate just to help, right? But the whole idea is we release fascial maneuvers to the world, so they're free. Anybody can learn them. They literally can help that person work out of any issue without any help. And what we're here doing now is we built a big media platform, and we're looking for people like you who are changing the way that people address the norms of taking care of our lives and our body. And so I really appreciate you for doing that. I mean, just standing up. I love to watch from the outside as we're doing. I love to meet you at one point, and I'm sure that'll happen. But we're simultaneously building communities around the world where people can go who are actually helping people to start off with, because that's really what it is. The world's going into the biggest chaos it's ever seen. Yeah, and you're doing it right.
Thank you so much. Yeah, no, I see all of that happening, all of the institutions that people have relied on and outsourced their responsibility for so many years are crumbling before our eyes. And I think a lot of people are scared. But there's so much possibility that's coming from that breakdown. And I think it's really exciting. I think this is the most exciting
Time to live.
time.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is the most exciting time to live. It's it's the first time in human history where we've seen changes. Even technology was exciting to be a part of because it had a radical change in society. Not all good, but we are right now in the next couple of years in the biggest change in the history of the world. Actually, between now and the end of the summer, between now and September is actually when the majority of the change, the spur of the change happens. And we've been predicting this. So like we actually had a conscious plan. We knew that this is coming. I follow astrology, so I closed my practice, said, "Oh, the world's going to shit. We got to get out of here."
Yeah, I felt it too. I felt it too. And I think the most powerful form of resistance, rebellion that anyone can enact at this point is to take responsibility for our lives and to stay centered and grounded and to know that we can heal ourselves and
Yeah.
that there's nothing to actually be afraid of.
Nothing.
It can feel, I think, fearful for some people in some ways. And, I have moments myself, but for the most part, I don't think there's anything to be afraid of because we are so much more powerful than we've been led to believe.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. Is there, over time, I'd like to get to know you. If there's anything that we can do to help you in your mission, we do. We have a pretty big media engine, and we haven't even turned it on yet. I encourage you to reach out if there's anything that we can do.
Thank you so much. It's been really wonderful chatting with you, and I'd love to connect more in the future.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow, that was super cool. If you guys want to follow her, please follow her. Super cool journey. I'm getting tingles all over me. Yes. And I'm scouring the world looking for people who are breaking norms, because those norms are what has confined all of us, each and every one of us. Yes, super, super, super cool. I was going to shut it down because I got to go somewhere, but I have a feeling that I need to talk to somebody. Lisa's going to put her handle in.
Yep, I dropped it.
Okay. Hi there.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Good to
Be
see you again.
well, wellness care. Whereabouts are you? What's your name?
Charles Bell. We've met before. Tammy was just down the coast.
Charles. How you doing?
Good.
Hi
And me.
there.
Yeah,
Dr. Charles.
Yes, how are you doing? What
Good.
an,
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Amazing, uh, amazing interaction the last couple of hours. It's been so interesting, and so that's what really prompted me to jump back in and want to reconnect with you. We're still,
How's life been treating you? How's your practice been changing or modifying since we met?
the practice has been changing, and so just as a brief recap, I was in pharmacy before I got into medicine. I intentionally went into osteopathic medicine, but my specialty was internal medicine and critical care. But our practice, is holistic preventative, and we're starting a restorative aspect of it as well. Um, but we do a lot of alternative care. So there's a place for conventional, I'll say that up front, but I'm not going to focus on that. We really look at doing um, incorporating supplements and ultimately food as your pharmacy. So we really are going deeper into alternative methods, forms of craniosacral, biodynamic treatments.
Hold on, but one second here. Wouldn't wouldn't allopathic be alternative, because the other ones have been around for 10,000 years?
But I'm osteopathic.
Oh
Which
no,
is,
okay.
yeah.
I'm just
So
joking. I'm just joking.
yeah, and so
Yeah.
I don't claim allopathic. I can't. I'm not formally trained allopathic. Osteopathic, which is a newer form.
Yeah,
Um,
I get it. I love that one because because you are a medical doctor too. So I just love that one. It's like, yeah, but you guys are the new kids on the block. Not you, but
well, but that's true. That's very true, and that's why we embrace the alternative. We talk about alternative, but the alternative is what has been around forever. So the
yeah,
conventional is the alternative,
yeah.
if you want to put it.
I think that's a fair statement.
Mhm.
It's a fair statement to say. What do you, out of curiosity, what are you seeing change in your patients over the last 6 to 9 months? Because it's been about 9 months or a year since I talked to you.
Yeah, well, I'm seeing more of an emotional component. So we've gotten deeper into the energy aspect of things. And I don't know if I mentioned when we first spoke to you, when I first spoke to you live online. I'm a co-founder, we're co-founders of the Centers for Energetic Healing as well, with a Dr. Jess Bell, no relation. She's up in Maine. We're based here in Tennessee. Our practice is actually in Franklin. So we're getting more into the energy aspects of things. And it's been interesting how the pandemic kicked the door open for it,
Yeah.
you know, and so that I embrace that wholeheartedly. And so we do a lot of energy work, but
Reading the fascia maneuvers.
yes, and as Tammy's saying, incorporating the fascia maneuvers, because I had migrated away from the crunch technique, for lack of a better term, the high velocity, low amplitude techniques.
Yeah.
So I was big into cranial sacral and especially myofascial work for many years. And so
Getting off the table.
being able to give people a way of self-treating,
Hmm.
moving towards that self-healing. And our whole premise is basically on empowering. We don't refer to people as clients or patients, as you know, they're collaborators. So getting our collaborators to be empowered to do things that we have been working hands-on so that they can do more of it, and incorporating that into their daily life has been huge.
It's a big, it's a completely different experience working with somebody who's taking care of themselves, because they don't, just the energetic load as me as a practitioner, they're not saying, fix me. They're saying, I've been doing what you said. This is working. I need some help over here. And you're guiding the sales, not responsible for putting them on
Right.
your shoulder.
So is the difference between the drive-by medicine model, the sick model, versus really digging in and helping people? So our initial visit is anywhere, I would say the low end, the very low end is 2.5 hours, but it's generally closer to 4 hours. And we really dig in and get people acclimated to what they need to do. Not, and it has been mentioned and it has come up many times about dis-ease, and the collaborators we work with, we make sure they understand that dis-ease, when left alone, becomes disease. And that's what was your conversations earlier were so powerful, because we look at root cause. We don't say, okay, lose weight and exercise, see you later. We dig in and figure out what it is that they need nutritionally, all the things that are just, they resonate so, I mean, they resonate with all the conversations and what has been discussed today. I mean, it's life changing for
Yeah.
individuals. It's been life changing for us. And the one thing I want to really point out is it's almost a 2-year anniversary of the death of one of our sons. And so dealing with that grief has been a major aspect of what we understand affects health. I have been someone who has had great health all my life. Up until a year and a half ago, months after our son died, is when I started having health issues. And it's an emotional aspect. So now when I have anything that goes on from a health standpoint, I look at that as being what we talk about from the centers of energetic healing as an upgrade. It's my body is moving to a new state, a better state, a healthier state. And so it's purging certain things based on dealing with grief head on, knowing that grief is not, there's no protocol for it, there's no time limit to it. It's a change. It's a change in the way you live when you're dealing with grief. But there's a lot of health issues and energy. And I had put a few comments earlier about we all have a biofield. So dealing with that biofield there's a lot of trauma and injuries that exist in that biofield that we have to resolve. And so the fast maneuvers is a major part of that. Moving energy, having individuals understand their energy and moving energy is a major part of that. It's been a major transformation. I love what we're doing as far as practicing right now. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it has been. And I remember that now. What was the anniversary of his
Uh,
passing?
February 24th. So it'll be
2022.
so it'll be 2 years on the 24th.
That's believe in spirit. So the message, irrespective, is to help you both believe in spirit, believe in the greater side of it. That's the day that he chose, because I don't believe in accidents. I believe we all pick a path, and that path has some purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
you're coming up to 2 years, which is and moving into from the feeling year into the believing year, believing that there's context or there's a reason for it.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that it took me a while to understand that. I really got that sense once I went to your retreat. I've been to lots of grieving retreats all over, and your retreat was absolutely amazing. Uh,
It was definitely transformational.
yeah,
When she, unfortunately, I couldn't attend with her, but when she came back after that week, it was very amazing.
yeah. You always you're always skeptical about certain new things, and it really hasn't been new. It's been around for years. But when I got there and I saw what went on, and all the women and the men, I mean, the change, it was profound. It was, oh my God. I don't even know if there's a word to explain. What happened not only with me, but the connection that we all had and the calmness. And I felt like I had an out of body experience. I got connected with myself, and with everything that you all, you know, project
And represent.
and represent. It's all healing.
Yeah.
It heals everything.
And it's very tangible. I love what you were saying earlier about, with the energy and how, it could be here or here, but essentially that's why virtual practices and virtual healing is possible, because once you tap into that biofield, it's limitless.
Yeah, energy.
Charles, are you a Virgo?
I am.
Oh, wow.
I am.
Are you between the 15th and the 21st?
I am the 19th.
Yeah. So
Mm.
I'm going to give you a message from you.
I'm welcome to it.
It's time to let other people help you, and
Mhm.
it's time to forgive yourself.
That's my journey right now. That's exactly what I'm working on. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's exactly what I'm working on.
So he has been in the hospital 4 times since our son has passed, and critical. His pressures drop. None of the doctors know what it is, what is causing it, and we have come to the conclusion is he isn't taking care of himself.
It's emotionally. It's emotionally because you can do all the right things
Yes.
physically.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the right hand on your heart, Charles.
hmm
Left hand on your head. Breathe in through your mouth. Two, three. Repeat after me. Thank you, heart,
Thank you, heart,
for holding all of this trauma, stress, and grief
holding all this trauma, stress, and grief
until I was ready to process it.
until I was ready to process it.
I'm ready to process it now.
I'm ready to process it now.
Breathe in through your nose. Two, three. I'm ready to forgive myself.
I'm ready to forgive myself.
I'm ready to stop judging myself.
I'm ready to stop judging myself.
I'm learning how to love myself.
I'm learning how to love myself.
What's your son's name?
Brad,
Thank you,
Bradley.
Brad. Thank you, Brad,
Thank you, Brad,
for helping me see a different side of myself.
for helping me see a different side of myself.
I'm learning the lessons that you came here to teach me.
I'm learning the lessons that you came here to teach me.
I know you're still a part of my
I
life.
know you're still a part of my life.
You live on in me. You
You
live,
live on in me.
breathe into your mouth. Two, three. I'm letting go of the resentment I hold
I'm letting go of the resentment I hold
towards my father and any other males in my life.
to my father or any other males in my life.
Breathe in through your nose. Two, three. I'm letting go of anything that doesn't serve me now.
I'm letting go of anything that doesn't serve me now.
I'm open to all experiences,
I'm open to all experiences,
all learning,
all learning,
and all loving for myself.
and all love for myself. Gary, I'm going to tell you something. Going through this now, if we had done this 2 months ago, 3 months, definitely 6 months ago, wouldn't have believed any of it. Couldn't have believed any of it. But I'm living it now. And I would say it really started when not only with the introduction of what we're doing with the Centers for Energetic Healing, but with what we have tapped into with what you're doing and started incorporating it in our lives and including in what we're doing with our collaborators.
You
So,
know, I think you're a 26 degree. That's what I felt, which is a Capricorn, Virgo. And today's a Capricorn day. It's a new moon. It's a new moon that releases like a full moon. And let's just put it this way. Something's going to happen to you this weekend in a good way. That's going to shift your perspective. And you've been waiting for this shift your whole life.
mhm. Well, as they say, no accidents, right?
I
So
was
we
going
clicked
to
on.
go. I don't know if you heard me. I said I'm going to go. But I need to talk to somebody else. And I randomly pick, of course. I didn't recognize the handle. I mean, I know who you are, but I didn't recognize the handle.
Mm-hmm.
So there was just something in me that told me that we needed to connect today.
Yeah, we were out doing errands and we were sitting in the car and we joined. And it was just something about this morning that,
Yeah, we
we
really
felt
don't do that.
drawn to
We
to
did.
join. So,
Yeah.
like I said, there's no
So,
accidents.
so the next full moon is on your son's date of passing.
Oh,
So
wow.
Wow.
between now and this full moon, and this is a new moon, you are becoming or opening up to why you came here to this planet. And I'm going to say you're in the right direction, but there's a radical shift coming.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I don't know exactly what it is. I just know it's a shift. I'm looking forward to. I want to touch base with you again in a couple of weeks, if that's okay.
Yeah, we absolutely. It's time. There's so
Yeah.
much that has gone on and changed in the practice that we need to have a deeper discussion. And like I said, I'm sorry that
Not
it
about
didn't.
your practice, though. It's about you now.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Agreed.
because your
Agreed.
practice is just an extension of you.
Yes,
So,
agreed.
Gary, you said that we are planning on coming to you somewhere, sometime, wherever you're at, to spend some physical time. Um,
Okay.
I'm not sure when. I
I
mean,
mean, we're providing, we have all kinds of different things
mhm,
going on, but get back into the community a bit
mhm,
more and get active, and then you'll find the avenues because
yeah.
we're traveling. We got stuff going on this whole year. This next year is basically planes, trains, and automobiles.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully more than hopefully more planes and trains than the automobiles, but
Right.
Mhm.
we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, listen,
sure.
let's talk. Let's talk in a couple weeks.
Okay.
I want to hear. I want to hear after the date, the anniversary. I want to
Okay.
hear your reflections because I believe your reflections are going to dramatically impact people. You're a Virgo. You're here. You're a master level Virgo here. You're actually a teacher of embodiment. And I don't know the rest of your chart. I can just feel that part of you. That's why I asked. So I'm something's going to transition. You have a bigger role to play in this world, and I believe that the path is going to be revealed here shortly.
I
I
welcome
told
it.
you.
I welcome it.
Okay,
So
we'll
good.
talk
I
to you in a
look
couple of
forward
weeks.
to it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll have Lisa reach out, and we're going to talk.
Okay. Awesome.
Sounds
Thank
great.
you.
Thanks,
Okay,
Gary.
All
see you
right.
guys.
Okay.
Hmm.
See you.
I guess I'm not leaving early today. I'm going out for a little retreat myself. We're just going to get our global vision together before we go on because it's going to be a year before we can get back in. I am like my skin, my pH changed. I mean, I'm like gooey sticky, like I just took MDMA. Oh my goodness, that was incredible. Thank you everybody for tuning in today. Today has been super powerful day for me. Today has been transformative. And I wish and hope, wish, sorry, not hope, I wish and trust that each and every one of you is going to take this transformation, this energy from today, and bring this into tomorrow. Look for what shows up tomorrow. Look for what shows up. Don't judge anything.